Hey YouTube, Louis Pate with Cruising Lou Outdoors, and you guys, if you've been following my channel at all, you've seen me talk about some different rifles that I own. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like a tabletop on some of my rifles. Um, and the first one in this series is gonna be my favorite rifle, and it has been since I was a very young child. Um, but it's the civilian version of the M14. It's the Springfield Armory M1A. Um, I have the loaded model, and I'm going to read, I have the website pulled up here. I'm going to read you the specs off of the Springfield Armory sheet, or the features rather. Um, it's chambered in 308 Winchester, 7.62 by 5.1 NATO, which, okay. The color is walnut. The model number that I have is MA9222, which is just a walnut stock blued barrel loaded. Um, it's a 22-inch national match medium weight 6 Landon groove carved steel barrel with a 1 in 11 twist, and it's air gauged. Um, the front sight is a national match. Excuse me, national match with a width. The width of the blade is 0.026 inches. The rear sight, as mentioned, is a match grade non-hooded 05 0.0520 aperture, 1/2 MOA adjustable for windage, and MOA for elevation. So I misspoke. So it's um, the elevation is 1 MOA for, or 1 click at 100 yards. Um, the trigger is a 2-stage national match tune trigger. It's set up to have a pull weight between 4.5 and 5 pounds. It has a flash suppressor on it. Comes with a 10-round magazine. Weighs in without a loaded mag at 9.9 pounds 8 ounces. The overall length is 44.33 inches, and the MSRP is $19.98. It's a little bit more than the standard, not as much as a national match. Uh, um, the national match, for me, you get a different rear sight, which I can buy and put right on here. And the other thing is the stock. It's, I believe the national match is glass bedded, but the stock is bigger, way bigger than the standard, and I didn't want that. But anyway, I sold some guns and a bunch of other stuff to have the money to purchase this rifle, uh, and I had to wait a long time to get it. I ordered it, and it was almost 10 months before it came in, mid 2000s. Anyway, um, and when I got it, if you've watched my channel, you know that I tinker with everything. Can't help it. It's a sickness. Um, so let me introduce you to my Springfield Armory M1A. I'm going to flip the camera around, and I'm going to back up so you can see this thing. I still don't have room in here because there's still furniture in this room. But this is my Springfield Armory M1A. Now, I'm going to start right at the muzzle because nothing's as it was when it came from the factory, pretty much. An interesting story. When I bought this rifle, it came with a national match flash suppressor, and all that means is they've opened up the inside diameter, so there's less of a chance of bullet strike. But when I bought this rifle, it didn't come with a bayonet lug. Well, Lion Joe Biden was vice president at the time, And he was raising all 7 kinds of hell about people having flash suppressors and bayonet lugs. So I bought one. I don't have a bayonet for this. I'll probably never hook a bayonet to it. This is just my way of saying, let's go, Brandon. Okay? Moving back, I kind of have to go back and then come forward to explain this thing. This stock is an M14 A1E2 stock. All that means is that this particular stock right here was it back when this rifle was adopted into service. What the military higher-ups wanted to do, they wanted to replace the 30 carbine, the M1 Garand, the BAR, and I believe they even wanted to toss out the M3 grease gun, but they wanted to replace it all with one rifle. And what they tried to do, being that the M14 was a selective fire weapon, they realized that it was very hard for the average soldier to control the weapon on full automatic fire. Some people never get the hang of it. It's a learned behavior, and if you can put enough rounds down range and you really want to learn to shoot it, you can. I myself have never fired a full auto M14, but like on Forgotten Weapons channel, Ian, he took one to the range, and basically what he was saying is that when you squeeze the trigger on this thing, you become hyper focused on just the rifle moving around and the way it jumps, and your peripheral goes away, your target goes away, everything goes away until you let go of the fun switch. So, they're pretty hard to control. But to try to tame some of that, they decided to come up with this pistol grip stock. And as you can see, it's a straight pull stock, so the recoil's more in line. And on the E2 variant, you had this very large bipod with a fold-down front grip that was integrated into your sling. And you also had a compensator device that clamped over your flash hider that helped tame the recoil. But it wasn't enough. A couple of things. Obviously you can't change the barrel. And 20-round magazine. Now the BAR, which was the squad automatic weapon up until they adopted the M60 machine gun, that was a 20-round magazine, but that was one of its shortcomings. So they kind of, I don't know what they were thinking, but anyway, this rifle is equipped with an E2 stock. It is also equipped with, let me cut this light on, I hope it doesn't blind you guys. It's also equipped with an E2 ventilated handguard. I'm going to cut this back off because it's just too bright. And I just did that in keeping with the stock. But this is I'm not trying to build a replica E2 here. This is far from a E2 replica. What I've done, I had this rifle glass bedded into this stock. The rifle has not been unitized, if you know what that means. Basically what it means is you're making changes up here to this clip, which keeps a particular amount of tension on the barrel, because this is not a free-floated system. But to get the accuracy out of them, you have to have the correct tension there on that tab. So anyway, I sent it off to a gunsmith that is supposed to be one of the best in the country, working on these things, and he glass bedded it. He polished the trigger. He didn't do a trigger job on it. He just polished the rough surfaces. And then I came back and I did this thing with some, I removed the trigger from the rifle, and I coated all the bearing surfaces with valve grinding compound. So, okay, everybody go ahead and freak out. If you do this right, it doesn't harm the weapon at all. And what I did was just further polished those surfaces. by pulling the trigger repeatedly. And I cleaned it off really good, reassembled it, oiled it up, and she's good to go. This rifle sporting a tilt Harris style bipod. This is not a Harris bipod, it's a cheapie. But, you know, it is what it is, and I can shoot it. It's also equipped with a M1903 pattern leather sling, and you obviously notice the large scope sitting on top of it. That is a Nikon M308-800 BDC. This scope, it's 4-16, and doggone it, I forget what the objective is on it. I think it's 42. But it has locking target turrets, and it has your parallax adjustments over here on this side, right here. It's not lighted. It has its very own unique recital, and that recital is meant to be used with a 168 grain Sierra Match King hollow point at 2,600 feet per second. And it has its own, there's actually an app that you use that works kind of like a ballistic computer. And you put in all kinds of information in it, current weather, up angle, down angle, all the stuff that matters long range. And it's all you have to do is range the target. You don't do that with this scope. You do it with a spotting scope or a laser rangefinder or whatever your preferred method is. And it spits out what your holdover will be at any given yardage. And you have it set on 16 when you do this, and it takes it out to 852 yards, I think. And if you back it off, it takes it out even further. Anyway, this rifle will consistently shoot 3/4 inch groups at 100 yards. 3-shot 3/4 inch groups at 100 yards all day long. You know, they'll open up a little bit as the rifle heats up, but they still, for the most part, stay under 1 MOA. And that's just with the one hand load that I have worked up for this rifle. I haven't experimented with it at all just because ammo shortage and money. Anyway, I'm going to touch on this scope a little bit. That app, which is a great idea in practice, the app crashes all the time. Both times that I've gone to go long range with this thing, my app crashed. So it's like, okay, well, we'll just, you know, because it's zeroed at 100 yards. And there's really no way to range with it. I guess I could sit down and figure out how to use the recital to range, but I'm going to have to. And I've made a dope book with, you know, perfect conditions and where the rifle should be hitting, you know, under perfect conditions. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Oh, and the scope mount, let me flip the rifle around for you. I'm going to set the camera down real quick. Excuse me. The scope mount is a Springfield Armory 4th generation aluminum scope mount. You know, it's a good mount, but it's tall, and I think there are better mounts out there for the same money. So having said that, but this thing, it's a blast to shoot. No pun intended. It's very accurate for what it is. I built it to be a DMR, designated marksman's rifle, and I think it will fulfill that role. But here's the kink. That rifle right there, empty on. By the way, I apologize. There's nothing in the rifle. There's no ammo in this room. So, should have said that first off. My apologies. This thing is a beast. It weighs about 14.5 pounds with an empty mag. Not something you want to go toting around, but it pays dividends on, you know, putting rounds on target downrange. I'm going to do a couple more things to this rifle. It has a Sadlac National Match recoil spring guide rod in it. It has wolf springs throughout. I'm going to eventually get rid of this. Is a Voodoo Tactical cheek rest, and it serves its purpose, but it's too tall and it wiggles around a little bit. I don't like it. So eventually I'm probably going to get one of those Kydex deals that you have to drill the rifle and all that. And when I do that, I'm going to put a monopod on the back of it to kind of round it out. But anyway, that's my Springfield Armory loaded M1A. And it's been a love affair for a long time. My brother, who's 16 years older than myself, I'll never forget the day in 1965 when he came up to me and picked me up and said, "I hope I'll see you again," because he was leaving for the Marine Corps. And some things happened, and he was medically discharged, and he didn't have to go to Vietnam, but he would have been within the first or second wave if he got through. So I thank God that he didn't have to go to that hellhole. But so, you know, as a little kid, you know, my big brother just went off to the Marine Corps, and you see ads for the Marines, and they're all walking around with M14. So, you know, I was right there, buddy. I'm done. I don't want no teenage queen. I just want my M14. Ooh-rah. Anyway, all right, all you devil dogs out there. Yeah. But that's it. It's something I really enjoy. I've spent a lot of, I've probably got another 1,500 at least in the rifle. So I've got, you know, $3,500 tied up in this thing. Every penny's worth it. It's just, it's something that, if I hadn't got this rifle, you know, when that day comes and I'm laying on my deathbed, one of the things I would be regretting was never owning an M14, as silly as that might sound. But there it is. But buddy, I got one now. So anyway, and I've had it for a while. It's just circumstances. You know, getting the money to be able to, well, even just finding ammunition, much less being able to pay for it, or worse yet, trying to find components to reload my match stuff. It's just, there's, you know, stuff's hard to come by. But anyway, oh, hand in front of the camera again. Doggone it, I do that a lot, don't I? It's Cruisaloo, Louis Pate, Cruisaloo Outdoors. And, you know, I want you guys to have fun. Be safe. Keep your lines tight and your barrels hot. But above all, have fun. And you know I'm going to say it. You know I'm going to say it. If you get on the water, brothers, sisters, wear your PFDs. Please. Please wear your PFDs. Okay, guys. I got some other videos I need to do. And it looks like the computer that I just acquired has quit. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to edit these videos and make them better. But we'll just keep plugging along. All right, guys. We'll catch you guys later. Next time, again, Louis Pate for Cruisaloo Outdoors. Y'all be good.